President Assad, in an interview with a Russian television station, has said that it's not the threat of U.S. military airstrikes on him and his country that brought him to sign the Chemical Weapons Convention, but it's Russian diplomacy that has led him to commit his country to getting rid of its stockpiles of chemical weapons. But he has made something very clear. This, of course, an important point in the background to the talks that are going on in Geneva. And he says that the threat of U.S. strikes must be removed.
I want to clearly express to everyone that these mechanisms will not be carried out unilaterally. This does not mean that Syria will sign these documents, carry out the conditions, and that's it. This bilateral process is based, first of all, on the United States stopping its policy of threatening Syria, also to the degree that the Russian proposal is accepted.
Now, his foreign minister has also said that they will put their chemical weapons stockpiles at the disposal of inspection teams to inspect them, to verify them, and that they will cooperate with those procedures and that process. Assad also in that interview went on to reiterate what he has said before many times now, is that there is no proof that he used chemical weapons. He said that this is really just a tactic similar to that the United States used in the lead-up to the war in Iraq in 2003, just propaganda, essentially, to build intervention. So Assad defending his position and laying down a very stringent condition, Natalie.
And all the while, what are the responses from the Syrian, the rebel fighters on these developments this week, Nick?
Well, Salim Idris, the general in charge of the sort of, if you will, the less radical side of the rebels fighting inside Syria, in an interview with CNN, did say that he thinks that President Assad is already moving his chemical weapons out of the country. He says they're being moved to Iraq, they're being moved to Lebanon. The Iraqis say that is absolutely not true. But General Idris also said, and this is very pertinent to what Bashar al-Assad has said about no threat of U.S. strikes, General Idris says that he's received a phone call from Secretary of State John Kerry assuring him that the threat of strikes on Bashar al-Assad's forces remains in place. The two sides here, the rebels, the government, absolutely at odds, and whatever the discussions underway, one of the fundamental differences between the positions of the United States and Russia in Geneva and the position of General Salim's fighters and Bashar al-Assad is that any negotiations over the future of Syria rely, according to the Free Syrian Army, General Idris, is the removal of Bashar al-Assad. That is a position that the Russians are completely opposed to, certainly publicly. That's their position. And right now, the Free Syrian Army, the rebels, want Bashar al-Assad removed. They want him charged for the crimes, held accountable. And they want not just the chemical weapons to be removed, but his fighter jets, his helicopters, his long-range artillery. So the demands and expectations of General Idris, the Free Syrian Army, really seem to outweigh what is under discussion in Geneva, and certainly the position of the Syrian president right now, Natalie.